Hello, everybody. My name is Guy in the House here, and today I'm going to be re-ranking Eminem tier lists. My last video I don't think was good, so I'm going to redo it again. And now we have a new album to rank, so that's even better. Um, but yeah, it's going to be from S all the way to F, and of course you guys see Encore on F because I feel like even though Revival came out, I still feel like Encore is worst in my opinion. But I'll explain that in a little bit. But yeah, I've been gone for a while. I want to start making videos. Not saying I am gonna start making videos, but I'm definitely gonna try. I'm going to be doing this ranking from worst to best. I'm going to be including all deluxe albums, all expanded, and like other side, like side A, side B editions together, only because, like, for example, Music to Be Murdered By, in my opinion, side A and side B are like pretty much the same thing, in my opinion. I would have ranked them either, one a little bit more than the other, but they would have been in the same ranking in my opinion. So I'm ranking those together. And yeah, same thing goes for all the other ones. And yeah, I mean, if you guys want to hear more tier lists and stuff like that, let me know. I'm so excited because I actually met Eminem in person. If you guys are really down to hear that story, I'll definitely make another video explaining the whole story, not situation, but the whole story. It was a nice story, um, nice experience. Like, I loved that experience from start to finish. It was the best thing ever. And yeah, so let's get straight to it. I feel like Encore is definitely the worst, because you got tracks like my first single, man. My first single are terrible. One of the most terrible songs I've ever heard. I hate Big Weenie. Evil Deeds is okay. I hate Love You More. There's a lot of tracks in there that I just completely don't like. I feel like the only good tracks are like Toy Soldiers and Mockingbird, but the rest of the all the rest of the tracks are just plain terrible. This includes the deluxe edition. I just can't stand this album, so that's why I'm ranking it like the worst. Next in the ranking is going to be, this is a very tough one because I like pretty much every single album, obviously except Encore, but it's definitely gonna have to be Revival. Um, Revival, I'm gonna put it in the F tier as well, even though I do think Encore is worse. I do think Revival is just, it's not the greatest either. The only reason I put it above Encore is because I really like Castle and a Rose. I like those songs. I liked Framed. I liked Believe, Walk on Water. Those songs are not that bad. And, I personally like those songs. I also kind of enjoyed River. Not the most craziest about River, but, I kind of did enjoy it. What else? There's another track that I like. The Skylar Grey track is not that bad. Skylar Grey track is, in my opinion, is not like crazy. Like Home is kind of corny, but I like it because of Alicia Keys' hook. It's amazing. And yeah, that's pretty much it though. I'd say the only reason it's all the way down is because of Untouchable. I don't really like that song, even though it has a good message behind it. I don't really like that song or enjoyed it. I only enjoyed the second half. The second half I like, not the first half. Um, what other song? Heat was terrible, honestly. Heat remind me, they're not good. Not good at all. I feel like that's why this album just wasn't for me. So, and for not for a lot of people, I feel like a lot of people they don't like this album even worse than Encore. honestly. So yeah. In my opinion, I do think it's a slightly better album. But either way, I mean, they're both not good. They're not good albums at all. The next album that I would rank is definitely gonna be the Eminem Show. I'm gonna be putting it on the D tier. No, I'm just kidding. I like that. I like that album a lot. No, the next album is gonna be the Infinite album. Infinite. Now, Infinite is gonna go on the D tier. Is where Eminem was, starting to do his, starting to beat Eminem. Not really. He had a different flow. He wasn't doing any controversial lyrics or anything like that. But I mean, it's still not the greatest, honestly. Honestly, the only three tracks I like from this is 313 that I really really enjoy, and Tonight, and I'd say Infinite's the title track is incredible. That's kind of the reason why I put it on the D tier. My least favorite track would be Jealousy Woes. I don't like that track at all, but I mean, it's not as bad as like a Heat or my first single or stuff like that. So that's why I'm putting it in the D tier. So that's Infinite for you guys. The next album. This is very, very. Ooh, this is this is hard, man. Now from here on out, any album is solid. These are solid albums. Like they're not terrible, but the good is the really really good ones, and the rest are not like crazy terrible like these ones. I don't even think Infinite's that bad either. So the next album, and I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for this. Honestly, I think Kamikaze's on D tier. Yeah, Kamikaze's on D tier only because of Nice Guy, man. Nice Guy should have never had existed ever. I feel like Nice Guy is the worst fucking song ever by Eminem. I think it's even up there with Fack. I feel like Nice Guy is, yeah, it's terrible, man. It sucks. It really sucks. Um I just, yeah, that's pretty much it though. I mean, but you get tracks like freaking The Ringer, you get tracks like The Greatest, you get tracks like Lucky You. Like those are the best three. Like to start off an album, he chose the right three tracks to start the album because man, I still go back and replay those. They're incredible. And like Angry Eminem is the best Eminem, And so getting him angry and coming at people, shitting on Revival and stuff like that was nice. But yeah, I feel like those three tracks kind of make it all the way at the top. Another track that I don't like that much is Normal. I don't think Eminem should be doing any love songs like that or try to be Drake. It just doesn't fit him at all. Not Alike is incredible. Fall is incredible. I love those tracks where he disses people. He goes at it, especially with MGK. He went at it with MGK. That shit was crazy. Um, what else? Venom? Man, I don't feel like Venom is that bad. A lot of people go shit on Venom. They say Venom sucks, but Venom is actually all right. It's not the greatest track, but I'll listen to it when I'm working out, stuff like that. All right, the next album. Ooh, this is crazy. I'm going to say Music to Be Murdered By, side A and side B together. I do think side A is slightly better, but in my opinion, they're pretty much the same. Um, and here's why. Here's why. I think Godzilla is a little overrated. Not gonna lie, but I do like it. I like Juice World. Juice World, was one of my favorite artists. I don't listen to Juice World that much anymore, but I do like Juice World. I like the Anderson Paak track, Lock It Up, I think it's called. That one's pretty good. I like the You Gon' Learn track with Royce and White Gold. That shit's crazy. That shit's probably the best track in the whole album, in my opinion. Darkness is good because it's double entendre, you know, with his life and the Vegas shooting. Crazy, crazy wordplay right there. Trying to think of other ones that I'm thinking about. I think that's pretty much it. A lot of them are pretty good. Never Love Again. That was great too. I love that one. Stepdad, in my opinion, isn't even that bad. I don't like the hook, but I like the way he sings, the way the track is. It's kind of all right. I do like which one's called an accommodating premonition. You know, those are great. I do think that Nat is okay. I don't like when he goes with the COVID shit. Like I don't like it, but you know, it is what's going on. So I understand why. But you know, I do like the beat switches and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. I like Zeus. Zeus is pretty all right. Pretty nice. I'm not saying all right. Pretty nice. I'll go back and listen to it. Discombobulated is amazing, and you guys are gonna see why it's amazing later on the video because man, I love that song. That song is great. Alfred's theme is great. Tone Deaf kind of sucks. I feel like the worst song in this album would probably be Farewell and Tone Deaf. I don't like those songs at all. I think that they're not even funny. But I think Farewell is a little bit worse in my opinion. But other than that is pretty solid, pretty solid. The next album that I'm going to be ranking. Ooh, this is where it gets crazy, bro. This is where it gets insane. Um, Jesus Christ. I'm going to say Recovery, man. Recovery is going in the C tier. Yes, Recovery. Recovery is great. I feel like from Recovery and up, I feel like all these albums are phenomenal. Um, I love, the Recovery era Eminem where he's like rapping angry. He's with a lot of pop artists. The Rihanna song is not that bad. Love the Way You Lie. I don't feel like it's that bad. Not Afraid is what kind of brought me back to Eminem. Honestly, I kind of fell off with Eminem, and then he dropped Not Afraid, and I loved it. I loved it. Even though it's overplayed as hell, it is very solid, and I do like this track. And I like Rydas. Rydas is great. Listen to that shit. So Bad is also insane. I love that song. Cold Wind Blows is amazing. It's a little jab at Mariah Carey, which, they had their little beefs, but it's a good song, really good song. Talking to Myself is a good song. 25 to Life is one of my favorite songs too. I love that song. Trying to think of another one. I feel like the worst here is a little, Going Through Changes is great. Going Through Changes, listen to that. It's awesome. I feel like the worst song in this album is definitely either Almost Famous and You're Never Over. But the reason why I say Almost Famous is because You're Never Over is, a little tribute to Proof and stuff like that. So it kind of has some meaning to it. But Almost Famous is, yeah, I just don't like listening to that song. I know a lot of people probably like it, but I don't. Personally, I don't like it. No Love. I almost forgot to mention that one. That one's pretty good too. You should listen to that one. And that brings me up to the next album in the tier list. Ooh. Oh man. I'm gonna put The Deaths of Slim Shady in B tier. Um it kind of hurts me to put it this low. I wish I could have put it high because then I would have been like, man, Eminem's never been able to fall off. He's still doing better. He's getting better and better every single year. but you know, it's not terrible. It's in the B tier. I feel like it's better than most. I like this album a lot. I love Temporary. That was a very heart feeling, you know, heartwarming feeling when he talks to his daughter and stuff like that. That's awesome. Save Me, I think it's called like that. I don't know what I can't remember all the song names, but I think it's one called Save Me. That one's pretty good too. The Jelly Roll. My favorite ones are Evil, Lucifer, and Antichrist. Those are crazy. Those are awesome. Habits is okay. I like Habits. I like Renaissance. Renaissance is great. But I feel like that song, you know, he kind of redid that before because I found a leaked song from him, and I feel like he did that verse already. I don't want to say it, but I don't want to say what leaked song it was. But yeah, it was one of the leaked songs or whatever. I feel like he reused the same verse. Um, what other thing that I'm trying to say? Um, yeah, I feel like those. That's it. Guilty Conscience 2 is great. Um, I feel like, you know, I feel like Head Honcho is not that bad. I feel like he gets a lot of hate. Head Honcho. Toby is incredible. I love Toby. That was awesome. What else? What else is that? Trying to think. Fuel is probably my favorite track of this whole thing. Fuel is incredible. I love Fuel. The only corny little bar is where he talks about Diddy. Kind of corny, not gonna lie. But you know, still, I love it. I love it. Road Rage is the worst song in this album. Road Rage, I feel like it just shouldn't have been here. He just makes fun of fat people, you know, shames fat people, whatever. Which, who cares, man? I mean, yeah, it's bad for you, whatever. It's not that bad, you know. It's not that bad of a track. I do listen to it sometimes, but you know, it is the worst, definitely the worst. But yeah, now we're gonna be in the now it's the top five. Top five Eminem albums. Ooh, let's see how that works. The next album is going to be the Slim Shady LP. I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but the Slim Shady LP is the next pick, in my opinion. I don't think it's as great as people make it out to be. It is good. It's a good album, like really good. But I don't think it's like the craziest masterpiece album that people say it is. But it's great. It's a great album. A lot of controversial lyrics in here. A lot of crazy shit. A lot of crazy stuff in here, which I love. But it's not his best. You know, it's not his best. I'm gonna be saying the worst song in this album is Come On Everybody and As the World Turns. I don't like those two songs at all. It's kind of why I brought it down. But the rest of the tracks, man, they're great. Guilty Conscience, the Guilty Conscience one, the regular one. That one's great. My Name is great. My favorite song from here is Bad Meets Evil. Bad Meets Evil is awesome. Bad Meets Evil is great. Still Don't Give a Fuck is great. Just Don't Give a Fuck is overrated a little bit, but I do like it. I feel like My Fault is funny as hell. I don't know why I find it so funny, even though like it's kind of fucked up. You know, I'm not gonna lie, but it's fun. In my opinion, it's really funny. Um, I like, yeah. There's a lot of tracks. Well, the rest of the tracks, Rock Bottom is awesome. Rock Bottom is on top. You know, it's great. What else? What else? I think that's it. I think that's all I gotta say about the Slim Shady LP. Is great, is awesome, and you should definitely, you know, give it a listen. The next album is going to be the Marshall Mathers LP 2. It's a great album. It's awesome. I remember when it came out. I was in seventh grade. It was amazing, amazing. I loved Berserk. rap god. And I'm gonna do a hot take here. I think Stronger Than I Was is great. I'm not gonna say it's the best song in the album, but Stronger Than I Was does not deserve the hate that it gets. I like the monster. I like the headlights when he, apologized to his mom. That just shows a lot of growth in Eminem, and that's awesome. And Bad Guy sequel to Stan. That's awesome. I love Bad Guy. Bad Guy is awesome. And I think that's it. That's all I want to say about the Marshall Mathers LP two. He definitely did it. He did great in this album. Um, I do like a lot of the tracks in here. I feel like Legacy is kind of underrated. Brainless is awesome. Evil Twin, Baby. The worst song in this album for me is going to be So Much Better. I don't like that song, to be honest. I just don't like the hook. Like, so much better that you just dropped dead. I just don't like that. I just feel like it just sounds forced. So, in my opinion, yeah, that's the worst song. But other than that, man, this album is pretty good. This is great, actually, really great. And now we have top three Eminem albums. Now, these are all S tiers in my opinion. All of these albums are S tiers. And I'm going to get a lot of hate for what I'm about to do right now because I'm not going to be, with the whole public and all that stuff. Hell no. This is my list. This is how I do it. And you guys are going to see my opinion, in this list right here. I think that the Eminem Show is number 3 in his catalog. And I'm going to tell you why. I don't think it's definitely, I get why it has a lot of praise. I get why a lot of people love this album. You get tracks like Stan, The Real Slim Shady. You get tracks like I'm Back. What's it called, man? Criminal. That one's pretty good. But in my opinion, I don't think it matches up to the other two. I think the Marshall Mathers LP is an amazing, amazing album. Definitely, look, if this wasn't my list and I would say the best, like objectively the best, definitely would say the the Marshall Mathers LP. But this is my list, and I feel like the Marshall Mathers LP is number 3 in his catalog, and that's just it. I don't like Amityville. I don't. Or Remember Me. I don't like those 2 tracks. But, I do like this album. This album is great. And, yeah, that's a hot take. But yeah, it's number 3. It's an incredible album. It gets, it gets the recognition it deserves, for sure. I understand why a lot of people put this album at number 1. My favorite track is definitely going to be Stan and The Way I Am. Those are incredible tracks, especially the way he rhymes, the way he just flows through these songs. The storytelling in Stan is incredible. And I feel like Jerk Ballad is also a very, solid track. Kill You is also another good one. Kim is very incredible. The emotion in that song is incredible. It's just a lot of stuff here is great, but it's not my favorite. It's not my favorite. Now, the next album is going to be Relapse. I'm a huge fan of Relapse. I love the horrorcore theming and all that stuff. I like the accents too. I feel like the accents are awesome. Same Song and Dance. I like Deja Vu. I like 3 a.m. in the morning. Those are incredible, incredible tracks. Beautiful. Can't forget about Beautiful. Stay Wide Awake. Old Time's Sake by Dr. Dre. Medicine Ball, I like Medicine Ball a lot. The only track I would say kind of lacks, in my opinion, I kind of would put this on number one. I slightly enjoy the Eminem show a little bit more. Um, but I do think that I definitely think that this album has no skips in my opinion. A lot of people probably don't like, Bagpipes from Baghdad. I love that song. I like Insane. I like Underground. I just like every single song, including the refill tracks. All of them are great. Careful What You Wish For, My Darling, Music Box, Elevator. I just love this whole vibe. It's just insane. I feel like Eminem did so incredible in this album. And I would have rated, if I were Anthony Fantano, I would have rated this album a 10 out of 10. Honestly, I love this album. It's amazing. I think the worst song here is Drop the Bomb on Them. I think that's the worst song in this, but it's still not the worst. I feel like it's still pretty great, in my opinion. And this is why I put it on number two. But I mean, if you guys don't agree with me, then that's fine. This is just my opinion. And this is just the way that I feel about, these albums here. And obviously number one is gonna be the Eminem show. The Eminem show is the best. You get Without Me, you get Don't Stop the Music, you get Haley's song, you get Till I Collapse, there's a lot of variety here. There's only one track that I don't like, and it's Drips. But other than that, this whole thing is pretty good. And Drips not even that bad. Drips is very listenable. I definitely listen to Drips. I do think this is a perfect album. I like cleaning out my closet, even though he, apologized to his mom or whatever. And his mom passed away, by the way, which really sucks. I don't like to bring this whole thing down by saying that, but maybe he will talk about it in a future album or something. I don't know. But yeah, clean out my closet is a banger. We used to freaking sing that as kids. Um, yeah, man, this album is great. Is amazing. Um, but yeah, that's my list, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I know I'm using my phone or whatever. I know I'm doing all this in just a small screen. But I hope you guys, give it a subscribe. If you guys want to see more, I'll probably upload. I don't know, man. I mean, right now I'm in the mood to upload my opinion, and I'll probably do a tier list on whatever. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't have to be music. It could be something else. Um, but I have a lot of topics that I want to do, and I love making these videos for you guys. I try to make some music too, but I kind of fell off on that. I might get back into it again. I'm not sure, but yeah, that's it. That's all I want to say. I'm sorry for being gone for a long time, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. And this is my ranking, and I probably will do one soon. I don't know. I don't want to speak because I might, just say something and I won't do it. But comment down below if you guys want to see other videos, any suggestions or whatever, let me know. And yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. And give it a like and subscribe, and see you guys in the next video. Thank you.